I've not seen this, so we're watching this together as friends on the internet.
Okay, let's get some Reddit stuff done. Let's round this stream out. So, Reddit. I got a couple things for Reddit, actually. Pretty beefy stream. Even without all the news, there's so much beef. Our polyamory. 33M. My wife, 29M. I think he meant F there, I'm going to assume. Started seeing another man, 39M, and he voted for Trump. Rant vent. It's driving me insane. My wife and I have been married for a few years, and throughout our marriage, we've always been monogamous. About 6 months ago, she mentioned the idea of bringing in another man to the relationship to spice things up. I hesitantly agreed. We found a guy on Craigslist. It was pretty fun at first, liberating even. The three of us had dinner together, watched movies, played games. The sexual stuff stayed separately. Although, admittedly, I feel like I started getting less. That's outside the scope of this post, though. Fast forward mid-November, I made a joke at the dinner table about how finally the f***ing Cheeto is going to be out of office. The new boyfriend, who's always been nice to me, told me, "Shut the f*** up, you f***ing liberal." I was taken aback by his sudden anger. He's much larger than me. This is fake as f***, by the way. He's much larger than me, so I looked at my wife as a plea for help. She just continued eating, trying to act like nothing was going on. I did not know he was a Trump supporter. He even made a joke about him in the past, but then proceeded to tell me that he actually voted for him. Long story short, after he had left for the night, I told my wife that we can't associate with him for obvious reasons. This is where it got bad. She defended him and told me that I was being disrespectful for not understanding that some people have different political views. I kept insisting that he's a white supremacist and a racist, and she said he wasn't. My wife has always been very liberal and anti-Trump, just like me, but now she's defending the literal. I told her we're done if she doesn't stop saying him. After a few days of fighting and her continuously saying things would be fine, I packed up and left, thinking she'd finally comply. Now I've driven by a house a few times, and his pickup truck is always parked there. In fact, I think he's moved in. What the do I do now? Great Rage Bait, Chicagoland Native 93. That's a real sounding name, though. Chicagoland Native 93? 4 years ago? This is an old post from 2020. This could be real. This has me thinking, chat. Okay. Trolls have weaponized the block list. Oh, this is Kiwi Farms. Blue Sky Social. Kiwi Farms is making lookalike block lists. Users beware. Blue Sky user endharassment.net has confirmed that Kiwi Farms is making lookalike block lists that show the blocking of MAGA, Nazis, etc. and are slipped in prolific trans creators and other leftists. This is the next phase that Kiwi Farms members have stated they will do, constructing lookalike block lists and then having popular trans people to them after the fact, once the block list is seeded in the community. Make sure any block list you use says who runs it. Only trust the official Liz Fong Jones block list from End Harassment. Sub for Indians to discuss plans and experiences about study abroad. And then so this is our Indians _ study abroad. Why the Indian hatred and racism going on in communities abroad? There is one thing that I wanted to read to this, actually. It was like a low. Oh, here, this one. Vabe Hava Alpha Male says, because Indians start dancing wherever they want. They don't immigrate to learn the culture at all. They bring the Dehati culture with them. And even though we hate with them, which even we hate as Indians in ruined developed countries, if Indians start to assimilate with their culture and catch their accent, they start to bully that person and make them feel guilty for not talking with Pajit accent. If you really want to bring your Dihat culture, then stay in Vishwaguru. Nimcha says, you hit the nail on the head. There was a guy. Oh, here we go. I feel the main issue is instead of adapting to the new culture and mannerisms, we just do whatever we were doing in India. Jaywalking and stuff. That's true. I hate jaywalkers. That's a euphemism, by the way. Jaywalkers are the fucking worst. They're absolute fucking scum. Like, no cap, for real and shit. I have seen recently that some government had to spend millions because of the pan stains in public places. I mean, you are destroying another country you came to get a better opportunity. They're creating a nuisance everywhere. People are bound to hate us. Dude, I didn't even know what the pan stains were. I looked them up. Indians do this thing where they have their own chewing tobacco, where they chew these extremely toxic nuts that are like so acidic they like rot your teeth. And then when you spit them, it's like this brown goo that's acidic and it burns everything. It doesn't matter if it's like a metal surface or what, it like burns brown into it and it looks absolutely fucking vile. So they just walk around chewing acid like batteries everywhere they go. And then they spit it onto walls and floors and bus stops and public apparatuses. And I've never even heard of that, but it's vile. They do, they spit acid. They're like the aliens. And they run around going, sir, do not redeem, do not redeem. And then they spit acid at you if you try to defend yourself. It's horrific. And then this, okay. Oh, that's I clipped that thing that I was trying to find. Oh no, this is a different post. This is a reply to this one, actually. This is one right here. It says, to be honest, jaywalking isn't a big issue except in places like Singapore, but you're right about the pond stains. I live in a Canadian city with a big diploma mill, and I was shocked that the bus station here is filled with pond stains and littered food and wrappings. Littering is a big problem with uneducated Indian students here. I've seen some Indians, even some of my friends, peeing out in public when I ask them not to. Many of the newcomers talk loudly on their phone or put songs on high volume in buses. Bro, I think it should be immediate deportation. Burn the passport even if they're a citizen. If you listen to music on speaker in public transit, you're not a human being. You don't get to act like a human being. You don't get to pretend to assert to have rights like human beings. You gotta go. I don't give a shit where they're deporting you. I don't give a if you lived here for the last 8 generations, you're going back to the Congo, okay? I picked the Congo as our designated dumping ground for retards that listen to music on the public transit. Which disturbs other passengers, and sometimes the bus drivers even ask them to stop talking. They dance and obstruct the way at the Yonge Square every weekend. The lack of civic sense is a big issue with a lot of Indians. Then there are too many scams committed here, which makes my blood boil. I can promise you without the shadow of a doubt that jaywalking is not the reason Western... Dude, I hate jaywalk. I remember in Pensacola one time I was driving at night. I was just like, I was just driving down like the highway. It was late at night, and when I worked for the Australians, I would take midnight drives pretty frequently just to clear my head because at night was the only time it wasn't so hot in Florida. So I would have my windows down, I'd be listening to music, driving down the highway, enjoying my time. And I remember that there was this black guy jaywalking, middle of the highway. Like, I don't even know where he was coming from or where he was going. But I was driving up, my headlights on, and because he's black, you can't see him. Like, it's nighttime, he's on a black road in the middle of the night, and it's like, I can't see you. And I was driving, and I didn't see him until I had to slam on my brakes. But he did this ape thing where he just, like, asserted himself by, like, blocking the road, like, daring me to hit him. I'm like, what the f*** are you doing? I don't know. It really pissed me off. Like, what a hard thing to do. Just like a complete demonstration that you're mentally fucking ill. Like, get in. Cool. Okay. Well, that's the Reddit segment. That's stupid.